Well, hello there. My name is Blake Sykes, and I'm here to share with you a brilliant educational theory, then debate its usefulness in the classroom looking at its pros and cons. Multiple intelligences, or MI for short, was developed by Howard Gardner and is the theory of today's podcast. Multiple intelligences is a theory first broached in the book Frames of Mind, The Theory of Multiple Intelligences, written by Howard Gardner and produced in 1983. This theory challenged the original/traditional belief of intelligence, which used to be determined by a series of short answer questions. Howard Gardner said, "We have this myth that the only way to show that we've understood something is to take a short answer test, or maybe occasionally with an essay question thrown in. But that's nonsense. Everything can be taught in more than one way." Howard was born on the 11th of July 1943 in Pennsylvania. Gardner went through regular schooling, then proceeded to go to the Harvard University, completing his PhD in the year 1971. During his education at Harvard, he studied under Erik Erikson, a leader in psychoanalysis, who developed the theory of psychosocial development, sparking his love for educational psychology to some degree. The main gist of MI is that each student learns differently, and that it is important to identify each student's learning style in order to find a happy medium. MI includes 7 specific aspects. These aspects are generally accepted learning styles of today. They include visual/spatial learning. This means the student learns best from a visual perspective. Diagrams, charts, and drawings are easily understandable by the student. Bodily/kinesthetic. This is the old learning by doing approach. These students love to get their hands dirty and to figure it out from trial and error. Musical/rhythmic learning. These students learn very quickly through the use of songs, anything rhythmic really, even little rhymes such as I before E except after C. Interpersonal. These learners thrive in a group environment, throwing ideas at each other and bouncing reviews between other interpersonal learners. Intrapersonal. These learners excel at self-reflection and how the world applies to them. They learn best in individual work. Verbal/linguistic learning. This is your traditional learning style. The teacher speaking and verbalizing the content while the student absorbs the information. Mathematical/logical. Problem solving and puzzles work very well with these kids as they thrive on step-by-step sequencing. This is the second traditional learning style. These different learning styles have been implemented in classrooms across the world. However, the question remains, is it any better than what we had once? There are a few pros and cons in MI theory. One pro for MI is that it caters for all types of students, allowing them to mix and match, finding the perfect learning style unique to them. This creates a happy and successful learning environment as each student will learn in a way comfortable to them. Although, in retrospect, expanding the expected learning styles to these extra 5 areas may distract from other students who find it exceedingly difficult to learn in certain ways. For example, if a teacher is attempting to cater for all students, the teacher may have to share certain information repeated times in different ways in order to keep the class in sync. This could be avoided if a universal style was used, such as linguistic or mathematical ones, as used prior to the intervention of multiple intelligences. Some aspects of MI work better within the primary education area. However, some also benefit from the secondary schooling area. The learning styles that benefit most in the secondary years are kinesthetic and intrapersonal. This is because students are mature enough to engage in their own learning, for example, research assignments. The student has to make a direct, conscious effort to learn kinesthetic, as this learning is done at home. The student is generally alone, meaning the student has to reflect on the learning by themselves. The major redeeming factor of MI is the students are happy. They learn in a way that suits them, rather than in the uniform and controlled way it used to be. This allows for faster, more efficient learning. MI can also be related to the Bible and a Christ-centered worldview. This can be done by studying nearly any book in the Bible, as Jesus Christ would often tell stories to his disciples and the people of the world. This is an example of verbal/linguistic learning. Intrapersonal learning is displayed throughout the Bible as Jesus had his disciples work together on a day-to-day basis. The Bible also displays intra-personal learning. This is done whenever Jesus prays and learns his next step in his perilous journey. A particularly favourite example of mine can be found in Matthew chapter 14. This is the story of Jesus walking on the water. He then tells Peter to join him on the water. This is a demonstration of kinesthetic learning, as the student, Peter, had to do it physically. He received hands-on experience and learned to have faith in God. As for musical learning, it can be found in nearly any church service. The hymns sung not only pronounce the singer's faith to God, but can also tell stories, like the tale of Zacchaeus, the tax collector, in the song Zacchaeus was a wee little man. This story can be found in Luke 19 in case you're interested. These examples show a clear biblical perspective within the multiple intelligences theory. This helps pave the path for a stronger, Bible-based, Christ-centered worldview in teaching areas across the world for the future. In conclusion, the multiple intelligences theory proposed by Howard Gardner is not only effective, it is also efficient and well thought through. It caters for all types of students and is applicable in any learning area, making it a versatile learning style. Thank you for tuning into this voodcast. See you next time when we visit the ideas of Erik Erikson, Howard's mentor.